If you were an athlete and you were struggling to find your purpose beyond your sport, if you want to integrate God into your life and discover your purpose, if you're lost and need encouragement, then this podcast is for you.
I've been chosen. Watch me put it in motion. Got strong emotions. Manifest what I've spoken.
I'm your host, Keith Datu, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Painted Lines. Today I have a very special guest, Mr. Tonino Gonzaga. How's it going, my man?
Thanks for having me, Keith.
Of course. We've been talking about having him on the pod as a very special guest for a while now, so I'm very happy to finally get to have him on board. In general, just how you doing, man? What's new?
I'm doing well. I've been playing in the MPBL since the 3x3 got discontinued momentarily. So it's been fun. I've been transitioning back to running full court. I'm sure you can imagine what that's like after playing 3x3 for like a year or so, right?
Yeah, for sure. 3x3 is definitely a topic that I have listed here today. But first, I kind of want to get a quick little background on you, maybe share with the viewers and the audience about, kind of just briefly, maybe where you went to school, why you chose basketball as your career, and just kind of where you've been and where you're going now.
Well, I went to school in Ateneo. I've been there since I was 6 years old. I walked on tryouts for the college team and thankfully I got in. I played for 5 years, and then after I went pro for a bit, for almost a year. I worked corporate for 5 years, and then 2019 I got back to playing basketball.
All right, so after college you went corporate?
Pro for a bit, like
Pro
a year.
for a bit,
Yeah.
okay.
And then right after I went corporate.
Got you. Why did you transition from being a pro into corporate and then back into being a pro again?
Well, back then, basketball landscape wasn't that as good as it was now. There were two leagues, PBA and D-League, and that's it. So both leagues were short of teams.
Okay.
Now, there's so many leagues, PSL, MPBL, a bunch of other leagues abroad, that make it good for a lot of players to have opportunities to have jobs. So back then, if you didn't think you're the cream of the crop, your chances were lower, and I guess my confidence wasn't where it is now. I guess I had to take that journey away from basketball before coming back to it.
Wow, okay. Do you mind sharing what corporate job you had?
Surprisingly, I went to a bank, and afterwards, I was in the stock market. I played in the MPBL again for Quezon City and Nueva Ecija. I did that while working as well. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, even though the hours of our work, basketball is just 2 hours and just keeping in shape, in general, good shape. But right now, I'm happy that I spent time away from basketball as well.
How long did you do that?
A year?
A year? Okay. And then how long after that until you went to go play 3x3?
Well, the pandemic hit 2020.
Okay.
Hit us all.
Right.
So, 2020 of October, there was a league, a 3x3 league, Chooks to Go.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's when I started playing 3x3. After that, in 2021, there was the PBA 3x3 was born. So, that's when I started really playing 3x3.
Got you. What teams did you play for 3x3?
I played for Meralco, I played for San Miguel, and also Cavitex.
Yeah. The first time me and him met, where I think probably on the court, I was playing for a guest team in the PBA 3x3, J&T Express, and I think you were on Meralco at the time? Yeah, you're on Meralco. And sometimes I kind of like nag people at the free throw line, and I remember I think the first thing I ever said to him, I forgot what I said, but we were at the free throw line, and I think I was just trying to bug you, and you're just like, just play. Like, you were locked in. I was trying to get under your skin, probably. So, PBA 3x3 for how many years did we do that?
For around 2 years.
2 years. And then, which led to where you're at now?
Yes. Well, the 3x3 was discontinued.
Right.
2020, early 2024. Right after that, I was jobless in basketball for 3 months until the MPBL window opened up.
Yeah, you know what? I think like almost the entire like 3x3 league, right? Went kind of jobless for
Yeah.
a bit, and I feel like everybody was searching for their next
Yeah.
basketball gig. You played some international too, right? 3x3?
Yep. When the PBA 3x3 was discontinued, I tried playing in Thailand, Korea, and Singapore, but just random leagues that were FIBA sanctioned.
Got you. Were you part of that championship team over in where was that at?
At Bangkok, Thailand.
Bangkok, Thailand. Who else was on that team with you?
TH Tumalip, Yutian Andrada, and Louis Vigil.
That's right. That's the Banh Mi Kitchen. The bar?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
I guess it's just playing 3x3 was a memorable experience for me. We see each other every weekend. It's like a family event.
Yeah,
Because
for
we're
sure.
there every weekend. We're familiar with each other. And we just compete. In the start, we didn't see each other as friends. But then towards the end, we had no choice because it's like laughing each loss or win off after the game, right? So that was a good experience for me, and it was really physical, if you remember.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's also why it was hard at first to like be friends with everybody because everybody was so like physical with each other on the court. But that's just part of the game. Do you have a preference between 3x3 or 5-on-5?
Not really. It's just now I'm really missing 3x3, but playing 5-on-5 is good too.
Yeah, okay. I mean, as far as I remember, it's an entirely different game, like strategy, like conditioning, points even. The ball's different. What I found hard about 3x3 was kind of like throughout the whole day, we'd have like, what, like 3 to like 5 games.
Yeah.
And it's like in 2 days back to back every week for like a couple months at a time. And I found that hard because like going through like for my own like injuries and stuff, it was hard because like I had to warm up before every game, you know, I had to cool down properly, get some rest in between when I could fit in some rest. Like how did you kind of manage, because you're older than I am too, you know, and I know that catches up to us players our age. You know, what are ways that you stayed in shape and ways that you were able to like really handle the amount of load you have to tackle as a 3x3 player?
What really helped me a lot was the pandemic because we were at home. I don't know what other way to reach our goals than to discipline myself with my diet back then. Really just working out religiously. And when I got the chance to play on a court, which was not really every day back then here in the Philippines, I did. And it was more of my saving grace also that I was able to try to strive for my goals in that way, even though I didn't see any results. So it was the discipline, I think, that the pandemic forced me to have, just to keep sane, really.
Right.
And I think I brought that way after. Also, the information that I was able to get trying to reach those goals, like trying to reach a certain body fat percentage level, trying to know how to recover after a tough day, how to listen to your body in general. Just that process of doing it day in, day out, I think helped me until now. Now I'm not gonna say I'm as disciplined because of the social aspect that the pandemic took out. Right now, if some friends ask me to drink, I will. Back then, I wouldn't.
Right.
Right? Because it's a social thing. Birthdays, gatherings, right? Maybe even the food you eat. And I used to have like a scale, and I'd measure everything I ate with the macros, the proteins, the carbs, and the fat. And I used to just try to hit the calorie count, just under the calorie count, and also the protein. So I wasn't really super duper focused on all the other things, but just those two things really helped me. And probably just the information out there and the way professionals carry themselves is different right now than it was 10 years ago. So I guess it's just a collective knowledge that everybody has right now in terms of trying to take care of their body, right?
Yeah, for sure. that goes to show like every little thing that you do like plays a part into your overall like your goals. Being an athlete, like I talked about it on another episode, but you're talking about your time management, you're balancing between your sport and having a social life, also your eating habits, trying to eat right. And it's interesting that you said COVID kind of put that in perspective for you. You had to be like more disciplined along the way doing that, which also kind of leads into like one of the big questions that I had for you. Do you mind sharing your age?
Yeah, sure. I'm 36.
36-year-old still pro athlete. I think that's great. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about longevity. And I know you took time off bouncing from basketball, going into the corporate world, back into basketball, kind of piggybacking off some of the things you already said. But, what are some ways to make sure we have longevity as an athlete? I'm not calling you old, bro, but I'm just saying like 36 is kind of sounds old already for a pro athlete, because don't we peak, right before we hit 30 maybe?
Yeah.
And then, just life happens and our bodies aren't the same. We're not as young and youthful, I guess.
I guess we can't really understate the effect of me having less mileage as an athlete, because I did take 5 or 6 years off. So I think during that time, I was still in shape, but I wasn't really pushing myself to where I would get injured. So maybe I had the luxury of really trying to get myself in the best shape without having to overdo it.
Okay.
Because, when you play back-to-back games or the 3x3, that's when you really push yourself more than what's good for your body, right?
Right.
So I think I can't understate the 6 years that I took off the game. But I guess it's also, I'm just lucky. I'm blessed to still be playing. I think it's just really enjoying what we're doing. Enjoying what we're doing, and I don't know. I just really just want to keep learning.
Okay. You mentioned like taking a break, and I took a break after having knee surgery. I took a few years off as well. But so you think having that time off to not because we kind of kill our bodies every day at practice, slowly, right? It's all like we have to recover really hard to make up for our losses every single day that we're training. You consider taking that time off has led to your longevity, being able to play longer? That's a hard question.
It's a what if type of question, right? We'll never know. But I did take 6 years off, and I would know if I played those 6 years, what state my body would be in right now. I wouldn't know.
Could have been injured, could have been burnt out. Have you ever found yourself in times where you were going through some burnout?
Yeah, definitely. 3x3.
3x3?
A lot. Yeah, because there's certain pressure when you start losing, right? When you're winning, the whole organization, from the coach to the players, are just loose about it, and you know how to win, so you're in a good rhythm. Day in, day out in practice, you're in a good mood. But if you start losing, that's when you try to overexert yourself because of frustration. And if it's a bad environment while you're losing, it piles on to all the stress, and you trying to overdo yourself, people trying to do too much just to compensate for the performance. I think it has a lot to do with environment and stress as well.
Yeah, it's tough because we're playing to win, but we're also playing for our own livelihood, our next contract and the contract after that, and so obviously if you win, it makes things easier, but you also want to do well individually. So I can imagine how, things get tense and stressful at times for sure. How did you manage those burnt out moments?
Well, a lot of ice baths for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of ice baths. I think it takes the stress away.
Do you still ice bath now?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go to a facility or do you do it at home?
I do it at home. I get the ice bags and put it in the tub.
Okay. I think because I lived with Anton for a little bit during 3x3.
Yeah.
When I was playing for Wilcon, and we bought one of those. I saw them all over Instagram, the black circle.
Yep,
ice
yep.
tubs.
The ones that are
Yeah, you kind of just like sit in there like this.
Yeah.
So we ordered one of those, and then we would like literally order ice and we'll dump ice in there and have ice bath days like that. I ice bath. I try to go not every day, but most of the week. I go to Carrie's now, and they have
Yeah.
a great like ice bath and a hot pool. So like I'll rotate those as well. So ice bath's more of like a physical burnout, right? So like,
Yeah.
what are some physical things that you would do, and maybe some mental things to manage the burnout?
ice baths for sure. Before I used to have massages, like deep tissue massages, but now I think it's important to know when, and I think it's different for everybody, right?
Yeah,
How hard the massage is, or if it's just skin deep level, just to get the stress out of your body. When to have it, day after the game. If you're having rest the next day, if you're going hard the next day, you can't do that.
yeah,
You
for
might
sure.
you might get hurt. So it depends. It varies from person to person, I think. But just getting to know your body and what it needs to recover is the most important thing. Making a routine, knowing when to stop, if you can, if you can.
Yeah,
If you're
if you
not in
can.
practice and the coach is not pushing you too hard, right? That's
Yeah.
something that you can't control. But the things you can control, you just have to know. I guess one more thing I did when I got older. Before in college, I used to take so many reps. But as I got older, I think I changed the way I worked out in terms of having more quality reps. Three in a rows instead of 20 makes.
Okay.
Just have if I'm not tired, I'm not tired. That means I just made all my shots. So that's good enough. It's the same way in the game. If you make your shots,
Yeah.
you don't have to run back too hard on defense to make up for all the misses, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just getting to know your body and just tailor fitting the workouts to have that balance.
That's good. Sometimes I feel like this is like a taboo question, but like sometimes we know the limit of our bodies and when we need rest and when we don't. And sometimes we're not able to take the rest because it's, we have a big game this week, or like coach is killing us at practice. Like on paper, like, or like social media, we want to say like, oh yeah, we work hard every day. But that's, for me, that's honestly like, yes, we still work hard every day, but there's definitely days, for me, I'll speak on like when I show up to practice and it's like, it's more of a mental day where I need to lock in and focus that way rather than, because I know my body, like, all right, I have a big game, let's say Friday, and I'm dead by, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, I know I need to take it easier at practice that week. So it's not that I'm not working as hard, but I'm working smarter.
Yeah.
Kind of goes back to your 20 shots versus your 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
How about like mental burnouts?
I think that has a lot to do with the environment, and I don't know. It's a tough question. If you have a good culture, no matter what's happening during the season, I think you can just focus on learning, whether you're winning or not. Focus on how to get better as a team because everybody's on the same page, and it's just easy to get along with people. You have the same goal. It depends a lot on the culture. So I guess if there's not a good culture in the team, you just have to count your blessings in terms of you're still doing what you love doing, playing basketball. Just improve in the ways that you can, know what you can control and you can't control, and focus on what you can control. Leave the rest to God, right?
Yeah, leave the rest to God. Kind of switch gears here a little bit. Let's talk about Anta. So you and Nico, right? You were the first two Anta guys that I knew that I met. Or just share a little bit about, how is it being an Anta athlete? Are you still on as Anta?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think it's been an interesting journey just being there from the start because honestly, you're hesitant to try a new brand, especially if you're doing this professionally. Gordon Hayward's shoes were the first shoes I had, GH3s. They were nice. They didn't have a lot of sizes back then because they were just starting to grow here in the Philippines. Those are the only shoes that I wore. It's just so interesting how they grew their brand into what it is now. More shoes from Clay, KT8s I like really really well, and the Kai One right now is really just it's the best. It's comfort and court feel.
Yeah, I got a pair of Kai ones right here. We'll shout out Anta, little like commercial break, I guess you could say. But like honestly, and I'm not saying this like biased because I'm an Anta athlete, but like these are actually like any of the colors. One of my favorite shoes I've ever hooped in. Like they're extremely comfortable, and like sometimes like during like long practices or games even like I feel like you ever switch shoes mid game or like mid practice or like even 3x3 with games all day, like I'll swap shoes out. As far as I've noticed wearing these, like I feel like I can wear these all day. Like they're that comfortable for me. And I mean they're still fairly new, so not too much wear and tear, but they're holding up pretty well. So big fan of Anta. If you haven't tried the Kai ones yet, I definitely recommend getting a pair. Yeah, I just wanted to throw Anta in there. As you guys can see, I have a bandage on my face. I had a game just yesterday. We were playing Phoenix, and I was guarding the import, and he banged me in the head with his head, and sliced just right above my eyelid. It's a pretty deep cut, so I have stitches. First time, well, I guess I had stitches when I had knee surgery, but first time I got stitches while I was awake, at least. And so I'm probably going to take this bandage off this evening and start treating it. Yeah, dude, it was like the third quarter, and like I like just subbed in, I think, and like just a couple plays later, like the dude just cut me, like my eye was dripping, and they like gauzed me, they taped me, and like I wanted to go back in the game. Like I feel like I totally could have kept playing, and I was like excited and adrenaline was going, but coach didn't put me back in. Yeah, I got to the hospital and they unwrapped it, and this is like a couple hours later, and like they undid it and it was still dripping blood. So like it for sure needed stitches because it was that deep. Anyways, back to you, bro. What do you see yourself doing after basketball?
Oh, wow.
And that's a loaded question. Sometimes, don't you feel like it's a scary question sometimes too?
Yeah. Basketball has been my whole identity. Even though I was working in corporate, I knew I wanted to get back to playing. So it's just gonna be tough not having to stay in shape. Probably will be wanting to stay in shape after basketball, but not having to as athletes. Like it's not our job anymore. It's gonna be probably a different type of pressure, but I think I don't know. I think that's the number one thing that I have to look out for, my body, right after. Secondly, I'm still working in the stock market, and I think I'm gonna do that, but I just want to do something that's really not stressful. Just make an earnest living, and I don't know, just let's see, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I remember I think sometime last year, you and I we went out to dinner, and we're talking about like the stock market, something that I've been interested in, and like investing and doing things on the side during my career. You know, I ask because like you want to set yourself up for success after your sport is done with, at least for you. And I know that's like a scary topic, and it's a hard thing to think about, but you know, when reality sets in, like, you know, I can't play ball when I'm 50, and I got a lot more life to live at 50 years old, you know, so what am I going to do when I am old and gray type of thing, you know, before I retire. Yeah, I remember we went to, I think we went to Yabu.
Yeah.
Over at SM Aura, and we sat down, talked about stocks and investments. How did you get into that?
Well, I worked in a bank, and the only thing that interested me really, not really, but the thing I was most excited about was the stock market. So I just left and tried my hand at the stock market with Call Financial, and I don't know, now I'm just enjoying, because it hasn't been an easy journey as well. I've lost a lot of money, for myself and for people, and earned it back, and just I'm still in that journey. I think I've been doing it for 7 years, and I think it's a mental burnout also. That's the mental burnout with that one is really tough, especially when you lose money for other people. It's really tough because you feel the weight of your mistake and how it affects other people's lives as well. So I think that's how you have to manage, like, really being robotic in a sense and just doing the right thing, not be emotional about your decisions when it comes to money as much as possible, right?
Right. So you're also being disciplined with your body on the court and also being disciplined with, the other aspects of your life financially. And you're kind of like your second career, your second job. Do you feel like that's something that's sustainable, just solely doing investment stock market for you, at least after basketball?
Well, it depends. Because the stock market's really, I'd compare it to, someone compared it to animals in the
Animals.
jungle. Actually, one of the bosses compared it to animals in the jungle when he went to a trip in Africa. He said, if you're a stockbroker, you're like a lion. You have to not eat for a long time until you eat and feast. So it's like it's not a recurring thing that you can depend on, but when it's good, it's really good. Personally, it's not been really that easy the past 6 years, 7 years. It's not been a good environment here locally. So let's see, bro. That's a question that I still have to answer before I still have to find out before I answer.
Got you. Yeah, I feel like that's a tough one, but I feel like the stock market's so versatile and kind of just so out of our control. It's a tough game to play in the long run. So, I mean, what else do you see yourself possibly doing? Do you see yourself staying within the sport somehow?
I think what's interesting right now with the sport is the development side, rather than, the competitive side after basketball, at least. Because I know how much pressure coaches are in when you're in the PBA or even the UAAP to win, right? Because the money that's coming in from everybody is crazy these days, especially in college.
Right.
But I'm just interested in developing players. Like women's basketball is developing really well right now. Probably the team Bs of all the college teams are really something to look after. To try to develop players who are willing to learn and just not have that pressure of having to win. Just getting down to the details, teaching what we know. That's always good, right?
Yeah, for sure. So it sounds like you want to be a coach. Is it like a specific coach title that you'd want for yourself?
I haven't thought that far yet, but Nico Salva's now coaching Team B of Ateneo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
head coach.
nice.
So maybe just help for now. I see myself just helping him out a bit and maybe seeing where that goes, or wherever I have a chance to help, like basketball camps. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big shout out to Nico Salva. He was one of the first people that got me connected within Anta community, and one of the first people that I met literally when I landed here in the Philippines. Like, would you prefer to work with a team or like individual players, do you think?
I think I'd still like to work with the team. Common goal with the team. It's okay to work with individual players, but I'd prefer working with the team.
Okay, that's cool. So you'd probably fall back on Ateneo. You bleed blue?
Maybe, bro. I don't know. Maybe some people will get mad at me, but I'm open to any opportunities where I can help, really. But I can help with Nico. Nico's been asking me to help, but it's just hard because I've been practicing and lifting, so I don't have energy to.
Yeah, I mean, you're still. Well, I mean, we're talking life after being a pro, right? So
Yeah,
you're still doing
Yeah.
the pro game. So, I definitely, I admire you as a player, and I think
Thank
that
you,
you
bro.
should continue to play as long as you can, bro. I know that it's something that you love doing, and yeah, I remember that weird period. It was before the draft for me, and it was like after 3x3. Everyone was kind of like in this floating space of like what to do next. And I remember there was times where like you and I would go to practice together, and that was
Yeah.
kind of the first time we kind of really kind of got close, because we were always opponents. You know,
Yeah.
we never hung out. only talking smack on the court. So
I was supposed to be with you guys, but I guess things worked out differently, right?
yeah, you know, I think everything happens for a reason, though. You know, like, can't understand God's timing for things, but you know, God knows what the end all be all is for us, and what He ultimately wants for us. Yeah. Do you have any like big quotes or like spiritual moments in your life that you want to share that you think the people would like to hear?
Well, actually, to maybe that's a time that I can really share how I recognize God in my life in basketball in Ateneo. When I was in Ateneo, I never really saw the court much. So I was a walk-on player. First year, I didn't get in the team. I was in Team B. The next year, I got in, maybe the last guy in the team. And I just really wanted to outwork everybody because ever since I was in grade school, I was watching these college players like Larry Fonacher, Enrico Villanueva, L.A. Tenorio, those guys, Doug Kramer. So it was my dream. So once I was there, even though I wasn't getting any playing time, I wanted to be the last guy out. First guy in, last guy out. Just to prove that I belong. You know what I mean? But it was hard because I knew I could play. We had a stack lineup for the first 3 years. I thought after the second year or third year, I really deserved to play. But I had a good game during the summer. Like I had 10 points, and then the next game, I sat the whole game out. And that really just put things into perspective. I want to quit. That's after my third year.
Right.
I want to quit. I'm going to quit. I want to do other things because this is too much. I'm the last guy to leave the gym, and I don't even... I've proven that I can play in a game, and then the next game didn't get me in the court. So I talked to everyone. I talked to Bacon, to Nico. I was like, I'm gonna quit. I'm just gonna tell Coach Sandy first before I tell Coach Norman. And then Coach Sandy told me something that changed my life. Sandy Respocachaga with Talk and Text.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, if it were any other player, I would understand and wish you good luck. But I'm adamant with you because you can take it. That's the only thing he said. He said, I'm not gonna guarantee you playing time. That's what I wanted to hear though.
Right.
I'm not gonna guarantee you playing time. Kiefer Avena's coming in. Greg Slaughter's coming in. It's a more talented team than before. But I know you can take it. You have a chance here to do something great for the team, not for yourself. So that's what he told me, and I balled out. And then I just approached practice the next day with a better mentality, you know, just not being frustrated by being the hardest worker, but working on the things I needed to work on. Probably back then was ball handling and being a better shooter, because shooters always have time on the court, right?
Yeah.
So after that, it just encouraged me to get better, and I was a second stringer, which was not bad. Better than a third stringer,
Yeah,
right?
of course,
For the next 2 years, and I was able to contribute during crucial games. So that I guess that's one way that God taught me never to give up, even though I really felt it's up to here about my playing time. Coach Norman, no regrets, Coach. I'm not mad at you. This is a good story, right?
That's great. You know, it's also it's good to hear like you're a pro at 36, you know, and you went through it wasn't easy for you to make it even just to where you are now, you know, and you know, to hear you strive to be better, to work harder when you weren't, to get the opportunities that you weren't getting before. You know, you really had to earn your spot. You really had to earn your keep on the team. And, you know, balling out didn't come easy. It doesn't come easy to everybody, especially when there's a lot of talent in front of you. You know, you really have to do the above and beyond, the extraordinary. So it's awesome to hear you go through that. See, I didn't know that, you know, so.
I think God gave me this gift to meet brothers and other people that really helped develop me, like coaches, like second fathers, right? It's been a hard journey. Basketball has also a lot of heartbreaks in it, especially when things don't go your way. Right after college, I thought I was going to really go pro. I guess God had different plans, and that was really hard for me because I was at work but dreaming about basketball. I knew that I couldn't really do what I was doing to the fullest because I wanted to play. So now that I'm playing basketball, I'm just grateful of how God does things in mysterious ways that I could never have written any better, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe for someone like Nico who's been playing his whole career, he had a 9-year career in the PBA. By the time that we were in the 3x3, he was already experiencing that he wanted to go on the way out. And I'm sure he had a great career. And I know he had a great career with Meralco. He was starting then. I saw him in the billboard in Eastwood as well before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when I got there, I had a different appreciation for it. I think an appreciation that I wouldn't have if I didn't leave the game when I did. So probably that's also what's helping me keep enthusiastic even though I'm 36 and still playing. I just wanna keep learning. It's like basketball just got back. So I'm not ready to let it go, and I'm just happy playing and doing this for a living, really.
That's great to hear, man. You know, it's so interesting when I speak to you or other players. Like you're definitely one of those players where I can really sense that passion for the game. You know, there's players that I talk to who are just like, yeah, it's cool, you know, like. And then there's players like you who are just like so passionate and just so eager to continue to learn and still grow and help others grow and just like be involved with the game in any way you can, because it's, you know, it's literally like ball is life, you know, that such a popular saying. But you know, when I think about you in basketball, I definitely know that your heart is really invested into the game, and you know, I believe for the right reasons as well. So that's great. How many championships did you win with Nico at Ateneo?
We won 5 together.
Five straight, just
5 straight.
5 straight champs. It's pretty special. Yeah, I thought it was 5. I just wanted to double check. You're the first Blue Eagle I've had on the show. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 LaSalle Green Archers.
LaSalle Green Archers.
And 1 Blue Eagle so far on the show.
Time to get Nico here.
Yeah, for sure. Learning more about you every time we speak, man. And there's a lot I didn't know about you just today on the pod. And, you know, I really appreciate you sharing, you know, your story, sharing some vulnerable moments that you've gone through, life as a pro, longevity, what you plan on doing after pro. And I hope that the viewers can not only just learn more about you, but also hopefully gain some value from things that we're sharing, you know, in our lives, in our professional basketball careers, what we do on and off the court. You know, is there anything special that you'd like to leave the viewers and the audience with?
Just never give up on your dreams. Wherever it takes you, even if that's not what you're supposed to do, you'll get to where you need to be.
I like that. You know, do what you're supposed to do, get to where you'll get to where you need to be. That's funny. I've said that before, but I love the way you said that just now. It really puts in perspective that if you have a passion for something, you know, never stop. You know, do it as long as you can. And Zags here is a living proof of that. So what's your social media? Where can we find you?
Tonino_Zags.
All right. I'll drop that here in the video, probably in the comments down below. So I appreciate having you today, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I've
been wanting to be on this podcast.
Yeah, dude, I've been wanting to have you for sure. So I'm really excited. I hope my audience is excited. You know, by the time this episode comes out, it will be towards finishing my season 1 of Beyond the Painted Lines podcast. I'm your host, Keith Datu, And
I'm Tonino Gonzaga.
thank you for watching another episode of Beyond the Painted Lines. I'll see you guys next time.
I've been chosen. Watch me put it in motion. Got strong emotions. Manifest what I've spoken.